Disclaimer. This is a topic that goes way deeper than the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Atlanta gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at Blow's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could let him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel Blow is one of the originators of the Atlanta drill scene, while also arguably being the next in line to blow up before his untimely arrest and RICO indictment. Thanks. I hope you enjoy. Zyrie Kayvon Robinson, better known by his stage name, Blow, is arguably one of the founding voices of the current ATL music wave, who through his own criminal antics and misdeeds would end up forfeiting his next up status, allowing his opposition to take over the Atlanta sound. It's a truly sad case of an artist who genuinely had a love for the craft, who would wind up getting stuck into a crash dummy cycle of incarceration and street beefs. This is the story of the original Atlanta drill star, Blow. Originally born in a small town in North Carolina, Blow would wind up moving to Atlanta when he was around 9 or 10 years old, him moving specifically to an area of DeKalb County known as Lithonia. Growing up, a young Blow would gain an interest in music off of his uncle, who was a rapper himself. The interest in making music being instilled into him around the same time that he moved out to Atlanta, that being around age 9 or 10, would cause Blow to gravitate towards it later on in life. Though, at this point, Blow's childhood wouldn't be all sunshines and rainbows. When Blow was still young, his uncle would end up passing away, and on top of that, Blow was dealing with financial issues at home, with his parents not being that well off. All these external factors would lead directly to him joining up with the gang subset that reps Lithonia called 31GK. This crew would be a mishmash of different gang sets, with some Sex Money Murder members as well as some Crip members and other crews, all aligned under the 31 label. Blow would later go on to found his own subfaction in the group called SRT, or Strike, Rob, Take, which specializes in, you will never guess, striking, robbing, and taking. With all that being said, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. Blow would do some sports during his academic career, though he'd wind up quitting most of that come high school, as he'd sink deeper and deeper into criminal activity and gang shit. This would lead Blow directly into stealing a car that would lead him to get caught and get 5 months into the juvenile detention center. On the bright side of all this, throughout this time, his passion for music would only grow, and all this would accumulate with Blow dropping his first ever song and music video, Dirty Teardrop, on December 9th, 2019, right after he was released. Given how many artists were coming out of the Atlanta underground scene in 2019, many of y'all might wonder why Blow stuck out so much, and I believe it was because people would instantly gravitate towards him off his more mainstream and raw melodic style. This sonic accessibility being one of the main drivers causing this first video to get a nice 54,000 views. And this first song, it sounds almost professional. You can tell Bro has passion for music even off this very first track. This song will be directly followed by 2 music videos released on Blow's own YouTube channel. Those videos being the videos for Foreign and Foreign Borin featuring Young Pooh. Both of these tracks being very melodic trap, but with hints of drill topics mixed in, adding to all the flexing in this video being Atlanta staple. These videos would do decent, but would be followed up by a hiatus from Blow posting music. This quote-unquote hiatus wasn't self-imposed, of course. Rather, it came from Blow getting caught in a stolen car and getting hit with burglary and automobile theft. Incidentally, following what his crew's name says, Bro did indeed strike, rob, and take in this singular incident. Jokes aside, this lapse of judgment would wind up taking nearly 2 years of his life, as he wouldn't begin back posting music until December 23rd, 2021, with the critically acclaimed track, Last Week. Even from this early on in Blow's career, he was one of the best artists in the scene, if not the most promising. While at first listen you might assume, he's just another melodic ATL rapper, when you listen to Bro's lyrics and his flows and how well it meshes with the beat choices, you can see why he was damn near destined to become the face of the Atlanta music scene. This isn't even me dick riding or glazing. Look at this motherfucker's comments. I've never seen a more positive fan reaction to music. Last Week would end up with a giant 318,000 views, and this was only the beginning. On April 12th, 2022, Blow would go on to release the track that would put me, as well as many others, onto his music. That song, of course, being the song Chapter 2. This was the first music video that Blow made over a more modern ATL drill beat, and this switch up came with a giant influx of listeners to this track, peaking at 1.8 million views. It seems as if getting out of jail would spark a fire under Blow, as he'd up his music creation by a lot around this time, putting out music video after music video, all averaging around 300,000 views each. Examples of this being This Week, Honey Bun featuring FN the Dealer, and SRT. Those videos getting 245,000 views, 231,000 views, and 210,000 views respectively. Now might be a good time to mention that when Blow was blowing up, he began to collaborate and work with other artists in the scene, one such artist being the artist Hunxho. Now I'm unsure about the specific details and how they would fall out, but they would fall out, and that would lead 31 and Hunxho's crew, Homixide, to begin beefing and warring with each other in the streets. The reason I bring this up is that you can almost see this beef begin musically, and let me explain on that. So on December 30th, 2022, Blow would drop a melodic, catchy track called My Heart. Almost instantly, motherfuckers in the comments were saying shit like Hunxho stealing this style or Blow stealing Hunxho's style and shit like that. I only believe that this began off motherfuckers sending subliminals and music up until this point. As I'm not tapped in with either Hunxho or Blow's team, I'm not gonna sit here and speculate on what the fuck the beef's about. It's pretty evident something happened, but nobody knows what the fuck happened. And by nobody, I mean me. Skipping ahead to my personal favorite track Blow ever made, that being the February 12th, 2023 track, New Love. This song would be a melancholic track with drums that hit nice as fuck. While the beat reminds me of some Jabari on the beat type shit, Blow would go crazy with this flow and mesh it really well with the drum pattern. If you play this in the car while you're driving at night, you might just go on floating. This track is sitting at a strong 735,000 views, and honestly, it deserves more than a milli. This viewership would stay quite consistent as well, as the next track, the April 5th, 2023's Clear My Mind, would be sitting at a nice 888,000 views at this point. At this point in his come up, it seemed like Bro was unstoppable. He even had audios doing well over 900,000 views, no visuals or nothing. This would all add up into the biggest track that Blow would ever drop. That would be dropping on May 29th, 2023. The track being Fat Bitch. This track would wind up with a 2.3 million views, and honestly, it deserves every single one of them views and more with how fire it is. It's hard to explain, but Bro's lyrics can hit you in a way that most other artists don't. I can't explain how fire he is without sounding like I'm dick riding. Just go and bump this track and tell me you don't fuck with it. It's literally impossible. It's like sad beats with drill lyrics. Shit's just fire to me. This exact same thing goes for the very next track as well, Can't Change. It feeling even more melancholic off how spacey the beat is. Blow makes music to get high and think about your life too while you ride around the city. Every time I'm in the car, Blow is gonna be played at least once. This music just puts you in the perfect headspace. The last songs that Blow would go on to drop, before he'd end up going down for aggravated assault and a RICO roundup, will be the songs Miami Vibes, The Nothing, and Mean to You, all being relatively run-of-the-mill tracks when it comes to Blow's discography. Miami Vibes being the only big one with a nice 2.3 million views. Usually, once an artist gets arrested, they are finito, done. But that's not the case when it comes to the strike legend himself. Even up until 2025, Blow has continued to make music while in jail, dropping a really well-loved and really good album, Blame the Label, whilst incarcerated. And this isn't me just saying shit, but if you didn't know he was arrested, you'd think he'd record this album normally with how good the mix is. Blow is one of the few artists that have wound up in jail that I fully believe has a long career awaiting him once he gets out of jail, given the fact that Bro is behind bars and he's still putting out shit that motherfuckers fuck with. The charge was only 5 years as well. If we can wait for Glock 40 Spaz, Bobby Shmurda and all of them, we can damn sure wait for Blow. Here's hoping when he gets out of jail, he will focus solely on the musical side of shit, as he's easily one of the best rappers to come out of the new wave of Atlanta music. He's definitely one of my most played Georgia artists outside of Baby Drill and Rakim. Definitely go listen to Bro if you haven't already. If you liked this video, please be sure to like, comment y'all trying to see next, and subscribe with the bell to see all my future uploads. If I missed anything, let me know and I'll put it in the description, along with any corrections and other shit. I appreciate all the support y'all been showing, and I plan to continue to give y'all what y'all want. That being a deep dive into Atlanta drill, along with whatever other scenes y'all recommend. At 1.5k subs, I'll be doing a face reveal, but some of y'all have my Instagram, so y'all already fucking know. I don't even know that's important. With all that out the way, peace out, chill out.
for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.